Okay, today we're on a 2009 Buick Lacrosse. Just going to do a quick walkthrough with the Xtool D8 to show you what kind of ability this tool has on this car. So I'm going to put the key in. First thing I want to go to is the special function menu, and it's the same menu for all cars, but you'll notice this is where you access the the stuff that's quick, that you may want to get to quick. For instance, if you wanted to reset the oil counter, you can go straight here. If you need to program a key, go to that icon right there. If you want to do a power balance, hit that icon. If it's able to do a power balance on this car, then that's where you would get to that at. If you needed to reset your TPMS, that's where you'd go. And it's just a real quick and easy place to get to functions to where you don't have to dig deep into multiple menus to finally find it. So we're just going to do an auto scan, and what that's going to do is scan the vehicle. I'll try to keep as much glare out of here as possible, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. This is a Lacrosse, so we're going to hit Lacrosse. It does have the driver information display, so we're going to hit yes to that. Does not have an air pump, so that's going to be without air pump, and it does have an auto AC system. So there's the car, and then that quick you are into the diagnosis page. So we're just going to hit system. If you hit auto diagnose, they go down through and read the codes, any DTCs that it may have. So we're just going to hit system diagnose. That's going to take us to a page that's got all the available modules that should be on this car, or that could be on this car. Some cars you hook to, what this page shows is every module that could possibly be on the car from the manufacturer. Does not necessarily mean that all these modules will be on the car. Depends on the option package that you have. And we're just going to go through these quick and easy. I'm going to show a couple little things that I've learned about the tool. So we're just going to start with this first one here. And on this particular menu, for some reason, usually the powertrain control module is the very first one, but for some reason on this one, the supplemental restraint. So we're going to hit that. It does show you the ECU information. So if you needed to know what the information was on the module, for instance, part number, then component serial number, you got that. You don't have to dig the module out to get the part number off of it. And since we're here, we'll just go ahead and see what these are. And there you go. So year the module was built, 2008, ROM ID, calibration ID. So it's got useful information there. VIN information. So here we're going to go. The main thing we're going to focus on is special functions. We'll hit special functions, set SDM part number to in BCM. Okay, do you want to set up a body control module? So there you have that. It looks like you'd be able to do it. I don't want to hit OK and get into a situation to where I'm not able to get out of it if I needed to. Set up a new SDM. Note the display of the setup new SDM complete indicates that the completion of the setup procedure required indicates that the setup procedure has not finished. And again, it tells you kind of the instructions to follow to change out the supplemental restraint module. And I don't know if you saw that down there, but let me hit OK to that again. Down here you've got program. Now whether or not this would be able to do it, don't know, but the option is there, so just keep that in mind. Okay, that was supplemental inflatable restraint. Now we're going to go to body control module. Same thing, we got actuation test. We'll hit that first. And just to show, let's see, what we'll do horn. because you should be able to hear the horn. I'm going to hit on. Off. So the tool can control, you know, the devices that it's calling out. What else? You know what? The door locks. We'll lock all doors. You should be able to hear that. Okay, they're all locked. Going to hit off. We'll go ahead and hit unlock all doors. Right now, all the doors are locked. Now we're going to unlock them. They are all unlocked. You would think when you hit off, it would go back to whatever the original state was, but it doesn't. And anyway, let me scroll through, show you what actuation tests you have here. Okay. Then we'll do special functions, BPP sensor calibration. BCM setup. Might have been because we were still in here. This is the one thing. Let's go back to actuation test. Back to special function, BCM setup. Okay, under this menu, for whatever reason, it is not able to communicate with the BCM, at least not easily. So we're going to go to the radio. Now this does have a aftermarket radio in it, so I don't know. Okay, so and we can try. Probably not going to work because of the aftermarket radio, but we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, failed to communicate. I'm pretty sure they probably have all the modules removed from this vehicle for the radio. Special functions, you'd have set options, country code, and radio setup. So on these GMs, if you take a radio, say from a salvage yard, and you try to install it in your vehicle, you're not going to be able to get it to work. You've got to go through radio setup, and it will reset the, you got to put in a password so that the radio will work. That prevents theft. So this should be able to do that, it looks like. That's a pretty common thing that a lot of higher-end scanners can do. We're going to do instrument cluster, actuation test. And that's, you got your tack gauge, and just to show you, I'm going to hit tack gauge sweep test. I'm going to hit up, down, so it will, you know, it will control the functions. A lot of people have asked, you know, just because the button's there doesn't necessarily mean that it will actuate or control that, and they are absolutely correct. There's been only one thing on this particular scan tool that I had a problem with. That was on a Nissan Armada, where it would not turn on. The button was there, but it would not actuate the self-leveling suspension compressor. I was troubleshooting it, and I needed to kick that compressor on, and this tool wouldn't do it. I took my Autel and hooked up. The Autel did do it. Now, they've had a couple updates since then. I don't know if that is fixed with the newer updates. Next time I get a Nissan in, I'll definitely give that a shot. Xtool does come out with updates almost every single day, so they're updating this tool continuously, and you get 3 years 3 years worth of updates. And I believe the updates are about $100 once it expires, and if you want to update it again, it's $99 as of right now. Of course, the way everything's going up because of inflation, who knows what it'll be. Digital radio receiver. Okay, the actuation test, audio tone. Again, this got an aftermarket radio, so we're not going to be able to really click on any of these. DRR setup. Not sure what that is, but looks like it would do it. Passenger presence system. Special functions. ReZero passenger presence system, and that's the seat. The occupancy sensor, where if someone's sitting in the seat, it knows whether someone's actually there or not. It's just a switch in the seat. Okay, this was a vehicle communication interface module. Actuation test. Okay, you've got all your green, red lights and stuff you can check there. Then you got your phone, program phone number, and set language. Electronic brake. Okay, looks like you can run all your solenoid valves, see if they're working or not. And then special functions, automated brake bleed, which is a nice function to have. Okay, the Hvac, very important module if you're having AC problems. Here in Texas, AC is a mandatory requirement in any car I drive. So here's, you got your actuation test. You got your blower motor. In fact, again, we're going to go ahead and hit blower motor. This should be something that you should be able to hear, I think. We're going to turn it on. Hopefully you can hear that. For some reason it's saying failed to communicate, but it did communicate with it. And okay, it went ahead and turned off. Let's try that again and see if it gives us that message again. I'm going to turn it on. Then I'm going to turn it off. Alright, worked the second time. I don't know what that failed to communicate was. Battery could be getting low. I've got the key on. I don't know how strong this guy's battery is. Mode door position. Of course, all your different door positions. Okay, let's see. Special functions, recalibrate all motors, and afterblow option. Remote door lock receiver. We'll do special functions, program key fobs, tire pressure selection, set up new RCDLR, and TPM learn mode. Okay, so now for the big one. This should be transmission and engine options. So here we are in actuation test first. And I think probably the only thing you would be able to hear on this one would be the fan, the cooling fan out under the hood. Let's see if we can kick it on and hear it. Hopefully you can hear that. That's the high-speed fan. I do have the doors closed to keep the buzzer off, but it did kick the fan on. Okay, that was actuation test. So here's special functions. Service bay test. Okay, that's going to be your Evap test. Misfire graphic. Cylinder power balance. Fuel injector balance. APP learned. And that looks like it. Now, before we get out of here, there's one thing I want to show you that I just found out a little bit ago. Not a little bit ago. A couple weeks back. What would be good to show? Let's go ahead and do O2 sensors. So let's say that you're looking at, a couple PIDs, and this is what I'm going to go over. So if you hit custom down here, let's say I've got these selected, the H2O or O2 sensor 1 and 2. If I hit custom, it brings them up on the screen like you'd be used to, and it will graph it. Now the problem with this is that if I want to see this other one, it collapses the first one. There's not enough room, I don't think, on this screen to show both of them. So it only shows one at a time, if that makes sense. It does have data recording. If you hit display all, it goes back to that. We got these selected again. I'm going to hit combine. Look what you get. You get an overlay of both sensors. Now you got the yellow trace here and the red trace over here. I'm going to go ahead and start the vehicle up. See if we can get some movement out of these. Because I think this is a nice feature. The way it overlays this to where you can actually compare two signals that may supposed to be pretty close to each other. You can see them, one right on top of the other. And remember, the red is this scale, the yellow is this scale. So the red is going from 0 to 800. The yellow is 0 to 500 right now, because the yellow scale, or the yellow trace is not, which is O2 sensor 2, has not started really moving a whole lot yet. Okay, now it's starting. Okay, now we're 0 to 600 on the yellow scale. Hopefully you can see that. 0 to 1,000 on the red. But I think it's a pretty nice feature to be able to look at two signals, overlaid, one on top of the other, so that you can kind of see, the red to me is a lot more healthy O2 sensor. Richen it up a little bit and see how it does. Anyway, then you go back to display all down here. And you can, if you don't want to go to a whole different screen, you can just hit the graph button right there. And then I don't know who uses this deal, but anyway, I just wanted to show that real quick. Oh, yeah. Hold on a minute. One other thing. So let's say you're looking at this. You've got a pause feature. If you hit pause, it just pauses that value at that particular value. Hit continue, then it starts recording again. Or starts your, not recording, but your live information. Anyway, that's about all I've got on this one. Again, here, this is just live data screen, to where if you wanted to see live data on anything here. Now, this engine's running pretty good, so I don't know if there's going to be any misfires noted here. But this, if you had one of these cylinders misfiring, then you'd obviously have some values over here, depending on how bad it was. Anyway, that's it. This is the Xtool D8. Very nice scan tool for the money. Very solid scan tool. I'm enjoying it. The only downfall to this particular one is it's a tethered scan tool. It's got to be plugged in, so you're kind of limited there. But They do make a Bluetooth version. It's a couple $100 more. Forget what the number on it is. I don't know if that's a D9 maybe, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, that's all I've got on this. So you guys take care. We'll see you in the next one.